February 9th, 2004. A seemingly ordinary Monday in the dead of winter. For Maura Murray, a bright and ambitious 21-year-old college student, it would become the day she seemingly vanished from the face of the earth. No body, no credible sightings, just a car crash on a rural New Hampshire road and a cascade of unanswered questions. What drove Maura north? What happened in those crucial final hours? And why, after over 2 decades, does the mystery of her disappearance continue to haunt us? An unsettling enigma etched into the landscape of American true crime? Welcome, everyone, to the channel where we delve into the most perplexing and enduring mysteries of true crime. Today, we confront a case that has baffled investigators, captivated the public, and spawned countless theories: the disappearance of Maura Murray. This isn't a tale of a violent crime with clear perpetrators, but a story shrouded in uncertainty, a puzzle with missing pieces that continue to frustrate and intrigue in equal measure. It's a case that speaks to our deepest fears, the idea that someone can simply vanish, leaving behind a void of unanswered questions and a trail of breadcrumbs that lead nowhere. The disappearance of Maura Murray is more than just a cold case. It's a cultural phenomenon. It has been dissected, analyzed, and debated online for years, attracting amateur sleuths and seasoned investigators alike, all searching for that one crucial clue that might finally unlock the truth. Why did a promising young woman with so much to look forward to seemingly abandon her life? Was it a planned escape, a tragic accident, or something far more sinister? Prepare to journey with us through the known facts, the compelling theories, and the frustrating dead ends that define the mystery of Maura Murray. This is a story where the lack of answers is perhaps the most chilling aspect of all. Before we delve into the intricate details of this baffling case, if you find yourself drawn to in-depth explorations of unsolved mysteries and want to join our community of true crime enthusiasts, please take a moment to like this video, share your thoughts in the comments below, and subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into the world of real crime. Your support fuels our passion for bringing you these complex and thought-provoking stories. Now, let's rewind to February 2004 and begin to unravel the unsettling mystery of Maura Murray's disappearance. Background of the victim and those around her. To understand the enigma of Maura Murray's disappearance, we must first paint a picture of who she was and the life she lived in the months leading up to that fateful February day in 2004. Maura was born on May 4th, 1982, in Hampshire, Massachusetts. By all accounts, she was an intelligent, athletic, and determined young woman. She excelled academically and was a talented athlete, particularly in cross-country running. Her ambition and drive were evident early on, and she seemed destined for a bright future. After graduating high school, Maura attended the United States Military Academy at West Point for a brief period. While the structured environment of West Point is rigorous and demanding, Maura ultimately decided it wasn't the right path for her and transferred to the University of Massachusetts Amherst. At UMass, she was a Dean's List student majoring in nursing, a demanding field that requires compassion, dedication, and intellectual prowess, qualities those who knew Maura say she possessed in abundance. In her personal life, Maura was described as reserved but also fiercely independent. She had a close relationship with her family, particularly her father, Frederick "Fred" Murray, who has remained a tireless advocate for finding his daughter. She also had a boyfriend, William Rausch, who was a cadet at West Point at the time of her disappearance. Their relationship, though long distance, appeared to be serious, and they often communicated by phone. In the months leading up to her disappearance, there were a few notable incidents that, in hindsight, have taken on a greater significance in the context of the mystery. In late 2003, Maura was involved in an incident where she used a stolen credit card to order food. While she was eventually placed on probation by the university for this, it suggests a possible lapse in judgment or perhaps underlying stress. Some have speculated that this incident might have played a role in her later actions, contributing to a sense of pressure or a desire to escape. Around the same time, Maura had also been researching vacation spots in the White Mountains of New Hampshire and Vermont online. This detail is particularly intriguing given the location where her car was eventually found. Was she planning a getaway? If so, why the secrecy? Furthermore, just days before her disappearance, Maura had a seemingly emotional phone call with one of her sisters. The details of this conversation remain private, but Fred Murray has indicated that it left Maura upset. Could this phone call have been a catalyst for her sudden departure? It's also important to consider the environment Maura was in at UMass. While she was a successful student, college life can be stressful, and young adults often grapple with anxieties and uncertainties about their future. Could Maura have been feeling overwhelmed or seeking a break from the pressures of her life? Understanding Maura's background and the events of those final months provides a crucial foundation for examining the circumstances of her disappearance. She was not someone with a history of erratic behavior, yet her actions in the days leading up to February 9, 2004, suggest that something was amiss, hinting at a deeper story beneath the surface of a seemingly normal life. The people around her, her family, her boyfriend, her friends, would all be left grappling with the shock and the agonizing uncertainty of her sudden vanishing act. Timeline and circumstances of the disappearance. The timeline of Maura Murray's disappearance is fragmented and filled with unanswered questions, making it all the more perplexing. Piecing together the known facts from the days leading up to and including February 9, 2004, reveals a series of unusual actions that have fueled countless theories. On the afternoon of Monday, February 9, Maura Murray engaged in several seemingly deliberate actions. She emailed her work supervisor at the campus security company, stating that she would be out for the week due to a death in the family, a claim that was later proven to be untrue. She also emailed her nursing school professors, informing them that she would be absent due to a family emergency. Later that afternoon, Maura withdrew $280 from her bank account. Surveillance footage from the ATM captured her transaction, and she appeared to be alone. She then visited a liquor store where she purchased approximately $40 worth of alcoholic beverages, including vodka, Bailey's Irish Cream, and Kahlua. Around 7:30 p.m. that evening, Maura's black Saturn SL2 was involved in a single-car accident on Route 112 in North Haverhill, New Hampshire, a rural and somewhat remote area of the White Mountains, over 100 miles north of Amherst. A passing school bus driver, Butch Atwood, was the only known person to have seen Maura at the scene of the accident. Atwood reported that the car was facing west in the eastbound lane, partially off the road and resting against a snowbank. He stopped and asked Maura if she needed help, and she reportedly told him that she had already called a Atwood contingent on his route. Approximately 10 minutes later, at 7:46 p.m., a resident living near the crash site called the police to report the accident. By the time police arrived on the scene about 8 minutes later, Maura Murray was gone. The car was locked. Inside, police found a damaged front end and deployed airbags. They also discovered an empty alcohol bottle, a crumpled map with directions to Burlington, Vermont, and Maura's personal belongings, including her cell phone, credit cards, and some toiletries. Notably, her wallet and any significant amount of cash were not found. The lack of any witnesses to Maura leaving the scene and the fact that her cell phone was found in the car are particularly puzzling. If she had called as she reportedly told Butch Atwood, why was her phone still in the vehicle? If she had called as she reportedly told Butch Atwood, and if she was injured or in need of assistance, why would she leave the relative safety of her car and venture out into the cold, dark, and unfamiliar wilderness? The circumstances surrounding the car accident itself also remain unclear. Some speculate that Maura may have been impaired by alcohol, while others believe the accident could have been due to the snowy and icy road conditions. The fact that the car was found facing the wrong way has also fueled various theories. The brief encounter with Butch Atwood is a crucial element of the timeline, but it also raises questions. Was Maura being truthful when she said she had called Was she alone in the car? Or was there someone else with her who left before the police arrived? Atwood himself later stated that in hindsight, Maura appeared nervous and possibly deceptive. The 8-minute window between the 911 call and the police arrival is critical. In that short time, Maura Murray seemingly vanished without a trace. Where could she have gone? Did someone pick her up? Did she wander into the woods? The harsh winter conditions and the remote location make the possibility of her surviving for long on her own seem unlikely. The timeline of Maura Murray's disappearance is a frustrating collection of known facts that only serve to deepen the mystery. Each piece of information seems to lead to more questions than answers, creating a puzzle that has defied solution for over 2 decades. The circumstances surrounding her final known hours paint a picture of a young woman acting out of character, leaving behind a life that seemed full of promise and venturing into the unknown. Investigation and major developments. The immediate aftermath of Maura Murray's disappearance triggered an extensive investigation involving local and state police in New Hampshire, as well as the Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI. The initial hours and days were crucial in the search for Maura, but yielded few concrete leads. The Haverhill Police Department, led by Chief John Healy, was the first agency to respond to the scene. They conducted a thorough search of the immediate area surrounding the crash site, using canine units to try and pick up Maura's scent. However, the dogs were only able to track a scent for a short distance eastward down Route 112 before losing it. This limited track has been interpreted in various ways, with some suggesting Maura may have gotten into another vehicle, while others believe the scent was simply lost due to the cold weather or other environmental factors. Within days, the New Hampshire State Police took over the primary investigation. They conducted aerial searches of the surrounding heavily wooded areas and ground searches involving search and rescue teams. Family and friends of Maura also organized their own search efforts, distributing flyers and appealing to the public for any information. One of the early focuses of the investigation was Maura's state of mind in the days leading up to her disappearance. The false emails to her work and professors, the withdrawal of money, and the purchase of alcohol suggested that she had planned to be away for some time. However, the fact that she left behind her credit cards and seemingly didn't pack for an extended trip raised questions about the nature and duration of her intended absence. Investigators explored various possibilities, including that Maura had run away voluntarily, perhaps seeking a fresh start or trying to escape some personal issues. However, her family and friends have consistently maintained that this was out of character for Maura, who was known to be responsible and had strong ties to her loved ones. Another key aspect of the investigation involved the contents of Maura's car. The crumpled map showing directions towards Burlington, Vermont, sparked speculation that she might have been heading there. However, why she would have been going to Burlington and why she would have left so abruptly remained a mystery. The role of Butch Atwood, the school bus driver who was the last known person to see Maura, has been scrutinized extensively. While he initially reported a brief and seemingly innocuous interaction, he later mentioned feeling that Maura seemed nervous. Years later, he also recalled seeing a dark-colored sedan parked further down the road, facing west, around the time of the accident, though he couldn't be certain if it was connected to Maura. This later recollection has fueled theories of a possible accomplice or foul play. As the investigation continued, law enforcement pursued various leads, including potential sightings of Maura in the weeks and months following her disappearance. However, none of these sightings were ever definitively confirmed. Investigators also looked into Maura's computer activity, hoping to find clues about her intentions, but no significant revelations were made public. In the years that followed, the case has been revisited by numerous law enforcement agencies and private investigators. Fred Murray has been relentless in his efforts to keep his daughter's case in the public eye, advocating for further investigation and pursuing any potential leads. The case has also become a focal point for online communities of amateur sleuths, who have meticulously analyzed every detail, generating countless theories and speculation. Despite the extensive investigation and the passage of time, no definitive answers have emerged in the disappearance of Maura Murray. There have been no credible sightings, no significant new physical evidence, and no arrests made. The case remains open and active, a frustrating and enduring mystery that continues to baffle those who seek to understand what happened to Maura Murray on that cold February night in the White Mountains. Theories and unanswered questions. Trial is not applicable. Unlike cases with clear crimes and trials, the disappearance of Maura Murray is defined by a lack of definitive answers and a plethora of compelling yet unproven theories. The absence of a body, witnesses to her departure from the crash site, or any conclusive evidence has allowed numerous possibilities to be explored, each with its own set of supporting details and logical challenges. One of the earliest and most debated theories is that Maura Murray voluntarily disappeared. Proponents of this theory point to her unusual behavior in the days leading up to February 9th, the fabricated emails, the withdrawal of cash, the purchase of alcohol, and her research into vacation spots. They suggest that Maura may have been seeking a fresh start, wanting to escape the pressures of her life at UMass. The fallout from the credit card incident, or perhaps the emotional distress hinted at by her phone call with her sister. This theory often posits that she intended to create a new identity and start over somewhere remote. However, the fact that she left behind her credit cards, identification, and seemingly didn't pack for a long-term departure presents significant challenges to this idea. Why would someone planning to disappear leave behind such essential items? Another prominent theory involves a tragic accident. This scenario suggests that Maura may have been impaired by alcohol and lost control of her vehicle on the icy roads. Perhaps she sustained injuries in the crash and, disoriented or panicked, wandered into the woods seeking help or shelter and succumbed to the elements. The harsh winter conditions in the White Mountains at that time of year make this a plausible, albeit grim, possibility. The limited scent tracking by the canine units eastward could potentially align with someone walking away from the crash site. However, the lack of any signs of her in the extensive searches of the surrounding wilderness, despite numerous organized efforts, makes this theory difficult to definitively prove. Foul play is another widely considered possibility. The fact that Maura seemingly vanished within a very short window of time after the bus driver left, and before the police arrived, has led many to suspect that she may have encountered someone who harmed her. The later recollection by Butch Atwood of a dark-colored sedan in the area has fueled speculation that someone might have been waiting for her, or that she may have been picked up by an unknown individual. Theories involving foul play range from a chance encounter with a dangerous person to the possibility that she met someone she knew who had malicious intentions. The remoteness of the location and the lack of witnesses to her departure make this a frightening and difficult avenue to investigate. Adding to the complexity are numerous other, more peripheral theories. Some speculate about the involvement of law enforcement, citing perceived inconsistencies in the investigation. Others have suggested a planned meeting with someone in New Hampshire that went wrong. The online communities dedicated to the case are rife with discussions about cryptic clues, perceived cover-ups, and even more outlandish scenarios. The lack of a trial in this case underscores the fundamental problem: the absence of a confirmed crime. Without concrete evidence pointing to a specific cause or perpetrator, the disappearance of Maura Murray remains a collection of unanswered questions. What was the true nature of the death in the family she cited in her emails? Why did she choose to drive to such a remote location? Who, if anyone, did she encounter after the car accident? And ultimately, what happened to Maura Murray? These are the questions that continue to haunt this case and fuel the ongoing search for answers. The lack of closure for her family and the enduring mystery surrounding her fate make this one of the most perplexing and frustrating cases in true crime history. Aftermath and cultural impact. The aftermath of Maura Murray's disappearance has been characterized by a persistent search for answers, a profound impact on her family and friends, and a unique position within the landscape of true crime in the digital age. The lack of resolution has kept her case alive in the public consciousness for over 2 decades, evolving from a local missing person story into an enduring online mystery. For the Murray family, the disappearance of Maura has been a source of unimaginable pain and unending uncertainty. Her father, Fred Murray, in particular, has dedicated himself tirelessly to finding his daughter, pursuing leads, organizing searches, and maintaining a constant presence in the media and online communities. His unwavering commitment highlights the devastating impact that such unresolved cases have on the loved ones left behind. The emotional toll of not knowing, of living with the constant ambiguity and the myriad of possibilities, is a burden that no family should have to bear. The case of Maura Murray has also had a significant cultural impact, particularly in the realm of online true crime communities. In the years since her disappearance, the internet has become a powerful tool for amateur sleuths and armchair detectives, and Maura's case has become one of the most intensely analyzed and debated online mysteries. Websites, forums, podcasts, and social media groups are dedicated to dissecting every detail of the case, generating theories, and sharing information. This phenomenon reflects a broader public fascination with unsolved disappearances and the desire to contribute to finding answers where official investigations have stalled. While this online scrutiny can sometimes be helpful in uncovering overlooked details or generating new leads, it is also being criticized for spreading misinformation and causing further distress to the family. The media coverage of Maura Murray's disappearance has also played a significant role in shaping public perception of the case. Initially a local story, it gradually gained national attention, fueled by the unusual circumstances and the lack of progress in the investigation. Documentaries, television shows, and numerous news articles have explored the mystery, often highlighting the most intriguing and perplexing aspects of the case. This media attention has helped to keep Maura's story in the public eye, but it has also sometimes sensationalized the details and contributed to the proliferation of unverified information. The Maura Murray case stands out from many other missing persons cases due to the absence of clear evidence pointing towards a specific scenario. Unlike cases where a body is found or there are clear signs of foul play, Maura's disappearance remains an open book, allowing for a wide range of interpretations and theories. This ambiguity is precisely what has made the case so captivating and enduring. It touches on universal fears about the unknown and our innate desire for closure. The lack of a trial or any definitive legal resolution in Maura's case serves as a stark reminder of the limitations of investigation when faced with a complete absence of credible leads. It highlights the challenges that law enforcement agencies face when trying to solve cases where someone seemingly vanishes without a trace. In reflecting on the aftermath of Maura Murray's disappearance, we see a complex interplay of personal tragedy, public fascination, and the evolving role of online communities in crime solving. While the internet has provided a platform for extensive discussion and analysis, it has also underscored the difficulty of separating fact from speculation in the absence of concrete evidence. The cultural impact of Maura Murray's disappearance is a testament to the enduring power of unsolved mysteries to capture our imaginations, and to the deep human need for answers. especially for the families left behind. The disappearance of Maura Murray remains one of the most baffling and enduring mysteries in American true crime. It's a case defined not by what we know, but by the vast expanse of what remains unknown. We are left with a series of unsettling questions. Why did Maura drive north? What happened in the moments after the car accident? And why, after so many years, has she never been found? Unlike cases with clear perpetrators and legal resolutions, Maura's story is a haunting reminder of the fragility of life and the ease with which someone can seemingly vanish without a trace. It underscores the limitations of investigation when faced with such a lack of evidence and the profound impact that such uncertainty has on families and communities. What can we learn from the disappearance of Maura Murray? Perhaps it's a lesson in the importance of vigilance and awareness in our communities. Though, in this case, there were no apparent signs of distress before her departure. Maybe it highlights the complexities of human behavior and the hidden struggles that can lead someone to make seemingly inexplicable decisions. Certainly, it underscores the power of hope and the unwavering dedication of those who refuse to give up searching for answers. Justice, in the traditional sense, is not applicable here, as there has been no crime definitively identified and no perpetrator brought to trial. Instead, the pursuit of justice in Maura's case is the ongoing quest for truth and the yearning for closure for her family. The enduring mystery of Maura Murray serves as a poignant reminder of the many unsolved cases that continue to leave a void in the lives of those affected. It challenges us to consider the multitude of possibilities, to respect the limitations of what we know, and to maintain empathy for those who live with the daily uncertainty of a missing loved one. While the answers in Maura's case remain elusive, the collective effort to understand her disappearance speaks to our fundamental human desire to make sense of the unknown and to never forget those who have vanished without a trace.